In Washington, D.C., power flows through information. But what happens when the most sensitive military intelligence in the world ends up on the wrong phone? In the halls of power, a national security advisor makes a fatal miscalculation. On the other side of the world, a special forces team walks into a perfectly orchestrated trap. When the dust settles, 4 American soldiers are dead, 3 more captured. And the most catastrophic intelligence breach in modern history is just beginning to unravel. Signal Lost, a 6-part podcast thriller about betrayal, courage, and the devastating consequences of a world where even our most guarded communications are never truly secure. When everyone is listening, nowhere is safe. Signal Lost. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what animal can sleep for 3 years without eating? Neither did I until I started hosting 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Every weekday, I'll challenge you with 5 brain-bending questions spanning history, pop culture, science, and more. Perfect for your morning commute or lunch break. 5 daily trivia questions. And by the way, it's the snail that can sleep for 3 years. 5 daily trivia questions wherever you get your shows.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where JetBlue doesn't even have first class, okay? This is Ballot.
That's right. Stick around. That joke will pay off. Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield. Did you see this one? And I'm not even making it up. Last week in the Oval Office, Trump asked reporters, "How do you get to be president and you're stupid?" That's it. I don't even have a joke for that one. Trump is starting to make more and more sense to me. I do agree with the sentiment. How do you get to be president and you're stupid? And now I might even vote for a 3rd term after this next idea. Trump is making American showers great again. Yes, our president just signed an executive order to ease water flow restrictions for multi-nozzle showers. Because if there's one national crisis that needed immediate attention, it's the president's shower experience. The White House called Obama's shower regulations part of a radical green agenda that made life worse for Americans. Trump complained it takes him 15 minutes to wet his beautiful hair under current regulations. 15 minutes. I don't know what's more shocking, that he thinks his hair is beautiful or that he's willing to admit it takes 15 minutes to wet whatever that is on his head. The administration is calling this the end of Biden's war on water pressure. A war on water pressure? According to the White House fact sheet, no longer will shower heads be weak and worthless. This is Trump's 2nd attempt at shower liberation, by the way. He tried this back in 2020, but Biden shut it down. Thanks, Joe. There was a big shakeup at the Space Force. Colonel Susanna Meyers just got fired faster than Trump's hairstylist on a windy day. The head of our military base in Greenland made the catastrophic mistake of disagreeing with JD Vance. You see, when Vice President Vance visited Greenland, he criticized Denmark for not doing a good job for Greenlanders. Because nothing says diplomatic visit like telling your hosts they're terrible landlords. After the visit, Colonel Meyers sent an email saying Vance's comments were not reflective of Patuxent Space Base. In the Trump administration, that's considered treason. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell basically tweeted, "Obey or goodbye," which is also Trump's dating philosophy. This all happened while Vance was in Greenland reiterating Trump's desire to annex the territory. You know, just casual vacation talk. Love your place? I think I'll take it. The Space Force's statement said commanders must remain nonpartisan. Translation, if you don't agree with everything the administration says, your career will melt faster than Greenland's ice caps. There's actually a lot of Space Force news. The Space Force has just taken ownership of their first Meadowlands satellite jammer. That's right, we now have the ability to jam satellites in space. This fancy new jammer is a major upgrade from their old counter-communication system, which has been operational since 2004. That's ancient in tech years. The original system probably ran on Windows XP and had a MySpace account. Now, the cool thing about this new jammer is it's much smaller than the old version. A company rep said, previously you had a bus of equipment and you hooked up an antenna behind it. Now you can put it in your SUV. So basically, they've gone from school bus towing a satellite dish to soccer mom vehicle with cosmic powers. But wait, there's even more Space Force news. In what can only be described as a morale-boosting decision, the Air Force and Space Force have canceled all family days for 2025. Because nothing says we value your service like making sure you spend less time with your loved ones. Acting Air Force Secretary Gary Ashworth wrote that family days do not support our ability to execute the mission with excellence. Unlike stress, burnout, and resentment, which are fantastic for mission excellence.
Want this podcast without interruptions? Caliroga Plus delivers this show and over 20 premium shows completely ad-free, right to your favorite podcast player. We've just added exciting new series including Signal Lost. What happens when the most sensitive military intelligence in the world ends up on the wrong phone? White Smoke, taking you behind the scenes of all the interesting things that happen at the Vatican. And Pager Protocol, a thriller about getting exploding pagers into the hands of the bad guys. Plus, receive all your existing favorites like Palace Intrigue about the royal family, daily comedy news, 5 daily trivia questions, and 5 good news stories. Apple Podcast users, simply tap the banner in your Apple Podcasts app that says, Uninterrupted Listening, Spotify and other players. Visit caliroga.com/plus. If you missed all that, check the links in the show notes. It's just $4.99 a month for no ads. Listen on any device, on any player you love, completely hassle-free.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip, when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
There's a bovine mystery brewing out in Colorado that would make Agatha Christie say, well, that's utterly ridiculous. Nearly 200 cows have just vanished, gone poof, without a trace. This all started right before Thanksgiving when a rancher reported 29 cows and calves missing, and then suddenly it was like a cow napping epidemic. 46 gone here, 38 there, 31 somewhere else. Then rancher Kelly Birch discovered 43 of her animals had disappeared. I haven't seen this many large mammals vanish without explanation since my uncle's side of the family stopped coming to Thanksgiving dinner. All 187 missing bovines had been grazing on the Uncompahgre Plateau, which sounds like a made-up place from a fantasy novel, but is apparently very real. And while some cattle always fall victim to predators or bad weather up there, they normally have the decency to leave behind a carcass. But not this time. What makes this extra strange is that the vast majority of the missing animals were calves, which means either wolves have developed extremely specific tastes, or someone's running a daycare for baby cows without a proper license. This mystery has sparked an unprecedented state investigation with all the trimmings. Sheriffs, a multi-agency task force, search planes, a $10,000 reward, and, I'm not making this up, a former professional bull rider turned backcountry cowboy who's been scouting the area on horseback. When your investigation team sounds like the cast of a Netflix series, you know things are serious. Colorado Governor Jared Walls mentioned the case in his State of the State address, declaring, "We are committed to holding cattle rustlers accountable." Nothing says I'm taking rural issues seriously, like threatening to prosecute outlaws from the 1800s. So if you happen to be driving through Colorado and see a suspicious number of cows in the back of someone's pickup truck, or notice someone with an unusually large supply of beef jerky, please alert the authorities. These cows didn't just move away on their own. A listener left us a comment about a recent story where we suggested AOC was flying first class. The comment reads, "There is no such thing as first class in JetBlue. This is a gross error and really should be corrected. I am all for calling out politicians using their privilege inappropriately, but this was a really harsh claim on something that is just not factually true." Our investigative team looked into this, and we'd like to apologize to Representative Cortez. JetBlue obviously does not have first class. What they do have is Mint. We'll read to you from their website. All suites, all aisle access, all the better to deliver our personalized, award-winning service. Featuring lie-flat seats and our exclusive Tuft & Needle sleep experience. Plus, the new front row Mint Studio boasts the largest TV on a U.S. airline and an extra seat and space to work, lounge, and entertain. Available on all transatlantic and select coast-to-coast flights. Thanks for pointing out our error, and we let our friends in the mainstream media, such as the New York Post, that they appear to have made a similar misstep. I'll talk to them tonight when we all get together at our secret big media meeting. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI, snark, and in case you haven't caught on yet, the whole show is about making fun of things.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip, when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.